Welcome. You're listening to John Hyman from Commercial Real Estate Online. If this is the first time that you're visiting us, you can get plenty of tips, tools and ideas from our main website. We run a website for commercial real estate agents and brokers around the world. And indeed, if you haven't visited that website, you can certainly do so and get lots of ideas relating to commercial real estate sales, leasing and property management. And of course, there is a sample of the website with lots of different topics there. For example, shopping centre management and operations, blueprint to prospecting, etc. So if that sort of thing can help you, by all means visit the website. And that is Commercial Real Estate Training. That is commercial-real-estate-training.com. There it is there. So let's have a look at the topic for today, and it's talking about a basic guide to shopping centre operations. I've put together this video for the people that get involved with shopping centre operations, be they leasing specialists, perhaps the shopping centre managers. It's quite a complex issue. It's a very special set of skills required for that type of property. And certainly when you manage and lease shopping centres, the inspection process is a regular daily event, given the number of tenants and customers moving through a property on an average trading day. There are lots of issues to monitor, including risk and liability. So that's why the inspection process occurs, and that's why we have this basic guide to shopping centre operations. Now, most shopping centres will have a maintenance manager, perhaps an operations manager, and a small team of specialist tradespeople or contractors to help the property and the building function correctly and effectively for tenants and customers. So these special people are part of the property management team. I mentioned that risk and liability is a big issue in the everyday running of a shopping centre, and certainly in the inspection process for many retail properties. That is the case, and certainly shopping centre managers and leasing specialists will know about the factors of risk and liability as they apply to shopping centre operations. However, there are many other concerns that also evolve from running a complex retail property. So let's have a look at some of them. Number one, cleaning strategies and operations. Of course, that relates to cleaning the common areas and perhaps the tenancy areas of the shopping centre. Cleaning strategies in a retail property are quite complex, and you really do need to understand the various types of zones, precincts where people will be, and the demands that they place on the shopping centre from a cleaning perspective. And indeed, there are special cleaning rates and charges that apply to keeping a property of that type clean and tidy. So that's the cleaning aspect. Of course, we're talking about risk and liability, and there certainly are many categories of risk and liability that come along with cleaning. Slips and falls are one of the biggest that you hear of many, many times. So let's have a look at the next one. Energy use and consumption. Of course, energy use today is quite a sensitive topic when it comes to running an investment property. Energy is not getting cheaper, it's getting more expensive year by year. And therefore the running of the shopping centre should be carefully controlled within a budget relating to energy, be that the energy for the common areas, also the tenancy areas, and that building budget will maintain some form of normality relating to the energy that is consumed on the property during the trading day and out of hours. And also you'll have energy factors that apply to the plant and machinery within the property. So energy is a big issue. Of course, energy use and consumption can have a great cost impact on the outgoings for the property. Some more about that later. So let's go to number 3, security. Now, security within and around the building will vary from property to property and location to location. Certainly some shopping centres are located in difficult areas where the demographics of the customers and perhaps the location will put special strains and pressures on the safety of people within the property and around the property. And so security has to be carefully considered for the customers and the tenants. And again, risk and liability evolves from the security process. So number 4, lighting. When you look at the average shopping centre, the common areas, the surrounds of the property, both inside and outside of the property, you need to look at how lighting can be installed for economies, illumination and also safety. There are a number of things coming together there that relate to how the property should be illuminated. Of course, in a retail property, the illumination of signs and retail type signage is really important to encourage the customers to the property and to spend money. So you have a difficult twist to consider when it comes to the type of signage, the type of lighting, how the economies of scale can be achieved while still giving the retail property a significant amount of marketing profile. So let's look at access. That's number 5. Now, access to a property will be from a series of roads, perhaps main roads and secondary roads. Access to the property needs to be safe, and of course when motor vehicles and customers get to the property, they need to be able to move to the main entranceway safely and effectively without any risk to themselves. That then says that the access factors of the property should be monitored and checked, perhaps through the entranceways, the car parking and other similar areas. Let's go to number 6, car parking. Now, car parking is a big factor within operating a retail property today. Car parking, of course, needs to be convenient, and many customers do visit the property as part of running a motor vehicle and driving to the property. So you need to consider how people will move into the property, into the car park, and then safely into the mall, the shopping mall, or the shopping centre. Number 7, risk and liability from plant and machinery. Yes, it's an unusual topic. Certainly the plant and machinery have and can bring to the property a lot of risk and liability. And certainly if the plant and machinery fail, you can find that the property is unoccupiable for certain reasons, be it safety, fire safety, security, perhaps air conditioning has gone down. So you really do need to think about the risk and liability factors that apply to the plant and machinery. And of course, the plant and machinery should be well maintained so that the downtime from any failure of the plant simply doesn't occur. Let's have a look at number 8, the tenant use of the premises. Now, each tenant will occupy premises based on the permitted use of the lease. And of course, they need to stick within the parameters of the lease. So the shopping centre manager or the leasing manager should be checking the tenant frequently to ensure that they are staying within the permitted use of the lease. Let's look at number 9, lease compliances. Now, every tenant will have a lease document of some sort. And in a large property with many tenants, you will have many different types of leases. So every lease needs to be interpreted and understood so that the lease compliances can be ensured to occur correctly in accordance with the way the landlord would want it, and the lease documentation sets it out. So number 10, rental and lease negotiations. So again, a lease document will lead to circumstances of rental payment, market rental, rent reviews, options, and the lease negotiations, the rental negotiations that evolve from that rental. So consider every lease document and the liabilities of rental negotiations and lease payments. Number 11, retail property marketing. Certainly the retail property type as an investment property is very much something that is marketed heavily to encourage customers to the property to promote sales. When you promote sales for tenants, of course, you then encourage a better level of rental for the tenants to pay, and that has benefits back to the landlord from returns on investment. So everything is linked. That's why retail property marketing is quite important. A shopping centre that is not marketed effectively will not attract customers, therefore the tenants will find it difficult to trade, and therefore the potential payment of rental will become more difficult. So let's go to number 12, tenant mix strategies and clustering. Now, it's interesting to note that tenant mix and the strategies around the tenancy mix is quite special, and is perhaps one of the key search terms on the internet today relating to retail property. When you have a shopping centre with a number of tenants and a large tenancy mix to manage, you need to make some good decisions and observations when it comes to where you place tenants and their relationships to each other, and also to the customers that visit the property. You'll need to understand the ant track, where people enter the property, move through the doors and into the property. That then allows you to place tenants in strategic points based on what the customer may require from their visit to the property. You'll have small tenants, large tenants, you probably will have some anchor tenants and lots of specialties. So there are lots of things to balance. Notice the word clustering. Clustering relates to how you bring a number of tenants together in a particular zone within the property. You might have a corner of the property, you might have something internal within the mall, you might have an area outside of one of the anchor tenants, outside of the supermarket or the department store. You might need a tenant cluster to support the tenants in that area. Now, clustering is a concept where you get tenants of similar type or complementary type to be located in the one zone where one customer can move from shop to shop and, in theory, purchase more goods of similar type or complementary type. So, for example, if a lady was to purchase a dress from a fashion shop, you might very well have a ladies' shoe shop alongside of the ladies' fashion shop to encourage the supplementary purchase of ladies' shoes. And of course, from that you can also put in the same precinct a handbag shop, so that you've got three types of purchases going on in the same location. That's what clustering is all about. So let's look at item number 13. Now, expenditure and outgoings, controls and budgets. A shopping centre, a large shopping centre, will have a very significant expenditure budget. And certainly it's no secret that the costs to run a retail property are high. That's because there's higher levels of cleaning, intensity of security, customer service. There are lots of people moving through the property on a regular basis. The lighting is more significant. Usually the security concepts, the security equipment is much more complex. All of these things add to a higher level of expenditure and outgoings activity, and of course that then means that the budget for the property must be well planned. So the larger your shopping centre, the more complex this area will be. So that was a summary of the many concerns that come in running a shopping centre. A basic guide to shopping centre operations: cleaning, energy use, security, lighting, access to the property, car parking for customers and tenants, plant and machinery, the tenant use of premises, lease compliances, rental and lease negotiations, the property marketing, that's the retail property marketing, the tenancy mix strategies and clustering, and expenditure and outgoings controls. All very valid points. They are all of concern in running a shopping centre. So let's go back here a little bit further. As I said to you, this is one of the main trading videos that we put out for retail shopping centre managers and leasing specialists around the world. And of course, if you would like more topics like this to help your activities in the market, if you are an agent or a broker specialising in retail property, or perhaps a broker or an agent that would like to understand retail property, you'll get lots more tips from our website. And of course, that website is commercial-real-estate-training.com. So my name is John Hyman. That is my website, and again, that is my photograph. I run a number of websites, and this is the main website for real estate agents and brokers around the world to get lots of tips, tools and ideas when it comes to looking after retail property, office property, and also industrial property. If we can be of any assistance there to give you further ideas, by all means, check out the website and join in on the community online. So that will be the end of this discussion. I have been covering the basic guide to shopping centre operations. And over the many years that I have been involved with retail property, I will say it's one of the most interesting segments of the market. That being said, it's extremely complex. It does require understanding. And of course, you can certainly participate in that segment of the market with great levels of reward over time. You just need to specialise. So this is John Hyman. Thanks for listening. I hope we can catch you again online through one of our videos or at our website. This is John Hyman signing off for now. Catch you next time.